So, okay, go ahead,
Okay.
shoot.
Cyrus Mistry.
Sure, sure.
Now, yeah. Now, obviously, as your book spends 2 or 3 chapters talking about what happened, why he was brought in, why he was ousted, what it did to Ratan Tata, you talk about how he came to acknowledge that it was a mistake that he rushed. He rushed the Tata Group to find a successor to him. That the mistake began there, right? That he was in a hurry, he
That's right.
set a deadline, and then eventually he felt that it was about upholding values, but that contrary to whispers, he did really want Cyrus Mistry to succeed initially.
Yes, go ahead. So what's the question? But it's a very serious topic. I'm not going to make any value judgments. I'll tell you exactly what I understood from the situation. So
Yeah.
which part would you like me to deal with? Please tell me.
Let's talk about what was the final straw over which Ratan
Okay.
Tata decided that he had to intervene. Because in your book, he says, I agonized and agonized. Should I intervene? Should I not intervene? I had made a mistake, but should I intervene or not intervene? And I want you to take us through that process of
Okay.
when he realized that this wasn't going to work and he needed to intervene.
See, Barkha, you will give me the liberty to disagree with you. There were no straws here. There was not one incident which was responsible for him to take the decision. Okay. Now I'll go through it very fast because otherwise it'll take a lot of time. As a matter of fact, Sir liked Mr. Cyrus Mistry. Okay. When Cyrus Mistry's father stepped down as a director in Tata Sons, Shapoorji wanted, I'm not going to take names, Cyrus's other brother to be appointed, which I've said in the book, okay? But R&T sir said, no, I will appoint only Cyrus Mistry, okay? So, contrary to what people believe, he was, completely supportive of Cyrus Mistry. If you see, R&T sir stepped down in 2012 when he attains the age of 75. And before that, 1 year before, they were having what is called this parallel running, that is together, holding hands and moving together for 1 year. It's called the training period, okay? Like you say, interns with you. So you understand that. Yeah. So in November 2011, he publicly said, in a Tata Sons statement, he said, I think he will do great for the group and for the group's future. That's one. And R&T sir used to address the CEOs, okay? And the CEOs used to address, there is to be called annual group management meet. That's the big honchos of Tata Sons companies meeting the chairman of Tata Sons. That's where R&T actually talked about the policies of the group, its future vision, where the group should be taken, okay? And in the last meeting in 2012 of AGM, he exhorted the group, he pleaded with all the CEOs and said, please give him the love which you have given me. Please give him the support you have given. So, the situation was too ideal to be true. I'll tell you why. For the first time in the history of the Tata Group, you have a new chairman who was completely supported by another chairman who had many years to go. All right. So you are talking about fusion of wisdom, experience with new blood. If this would have worked, it would have been, according to me, the most interesting golden period of Tata Group. Now, what happened? Now, I'm going through it very fast, okay? If you need clarification, please tell me. Now, I'm not saying that Cyrus Mistry is a bad man. I really don't think he's a bad man, okay? The point is that, did he have the experience to run a huge conglomerate from salt to software to steel? If you really ask me, no. Even the present chairman said that. Perhaps 5 years of a CEO or an MD of a company would have equipped him to try to do better, okay? I'm not trying to say he did bad, but the point is that he did not have the experience to run such a huge organization. In the first year itself, R&T sir found that the performance of the company was not as good, and the trajectory it was taking is not encouraging. So what did he do? He appointed Nitin Noria, the 10th Dean of Harvard Business School. I interviewed for, I think, about 4 or 5 hours, an extremely brilliant man. So he was brought in. And you know what? I interviewed him at Harvard. He says, people won't believe it. I was brought into the board only to support Cyrus Mistry run this huge conglomerate and advise. He says he advised him, but he says he found a lot of shortcomings in his management style. For one, he says he never took decisions fast. 2, he never took collective decisions. He did not take a lot of people along with him. He wanted, there was a kind of centralization of power. Now, as a result of which you could see the graph slowly dipping. Okay. Now, I did a granular analysis, all right, just to see if the contention of the Tata Group or what R&T Sir said was right or wrong. Because during the last phase of their, the crisis, where after Cyrus Mistry was removed or replaced rather, he came out and said that these companies did much better under him than under Mr. Tata. Okay. So, and he had given the names of 6 companies, talked about TCS, Tata Chemicals, Tata Power, Tata Motors, and they said they did much better than the Sensex, they said, but generally. So I put this to the test. Now, if you look at the figures, first you will find that there is truth in what Cyrus Mistry said. But if you go a little deeper, you will find that's not the case. I'll just give you an example. Please note that from 2007, you have a beginning of the economic contraction in the world. You talk about the economic crisis, if you know.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that there was this economic crisis, which impacts manufacturing industries as others, you will see that the growth of Tata companies, even during this phase, 2009 to 2012, the growth was 17%, while the Sensex came down by -4. So therefore, the total growth was around 22%. Okay, just to give you, I'm sorry, I'm giving you numbers, otherwise I'll not be able to substantiate. While during the time of Cyrus Mistry, the growth was anywhere between 44, 45, 46%. But the Sensex went up by 44. So if you really look at the growth in terms of Sensex and the Tata companies, you will find during the time of Ratan Tata, the growth was 22% versus 7% during the time of Cyrus Mistry. Now, so there was a lot of truth in what they said. And plus, there were a lot of other issues. I'll just mention and stop, otherwise it'll take a lot of time. One is the Docomo issue, as you know. You know, the Docomo issue had come to a stage where it was affecting even Indo-Japanese relations. I've mentioned that in the book. Because Tata's, according to the arrangement they had with Docomo, that in case they want to, move out, they'd have to be paid a certain amount of $1.17 billion. And, the administration under Cyrus Mistry took refuge under some RBI guidelines, said, and I'm not going into those details, saying that we cannot make the payment. But we know what R&T Sir came and said. R&T Sir said, Thomas, how can we do this if the largest conglomerate in the country, represented by the chairman, will sit across a table, and if the other parties cannot trust what the chairman is saying? What is India's future? When you're looking for,
I think in the book you say that it was beginning to impact relations between India and Japan, and Ratan Tata decided that it was hurting the country's interests, and one of the first things he did when he came back was to pay Docomo the amount that Mistry was refusing to pay.
That's right. I mean, I would not say that Mistry was refusing to pay. I mean, that Mistry
dragging his feet on. Yeah,
now, most important, what R&T Sir was telling me was that he said, Thomas, what will happen if India's conglomerate chairman cannot be trusted in an international forum, then what is there? Who is going to trust you? So therefore, see, one thing you need to understand, R&T sir always took decision first for the nation, the society, and then for the group. He could have also done exactly like what Cyrus Mistry did and not paid $1.17 billion. And it's no small change. But he said it is important for the nation. That is one major issue. They had a problem with. And second, Barkha, there is a very, very important issue in this. That's the issue of corporate governance. Okay, I'm not passing any value judgment. You have to understand one cardinal point which Sir was making. At the time of selection of Cyrus Mistry, when the file was submitted to Mr. Tata, he said, there are two conditions that have to be fulfilled. One is that Cyrus Mistry will put in a structure which will keep him separated from Tata Sons and his group, so that there is a tenable architecture that will not mix both the roles. In other words, he will not have anything to do with the Shapoorji Pallonji group. In fact, during the time of the interview itself, the committee said, Cyrus, you have to build a Chinese wall to protect against accusation that Shapoorji Pallonji, the builders, they do a lot of buildings, are not taking advantage. And just giving you one figure, from 2009 to about 2012, around that time, Shapoorji Pallonji got about 3,000 crores contract from various Tata companies. Now, Barkha, the government, as much as I do. Can you imagine if a CMD of a PSU would give his father's company contract in that PSU? Yeah, CBI, ED, everybody would be after him and you'd be suspended and sent home. As a matter of fact, as a matter of principle, even when he was a director, if you really ask, that's my personal point of view, even when he was director, ethics and good governance would demand that you do not allow your company to compete for contracts of Tata companies. And even when R&T kept on reminding him, R&T sir kept on reminding him that you need to sign this or you need to do something, make a solid architecture that will separate both your roles. But that did not happen. And therefore, he wrote a handwritten letter to him, which was actually underscoring the foundation of the group, okay? And telling him that the ethos and the cardinal principles of the group were laid down by Jamshedji and carried on since then, embraced with so much of fervor and not allowing it to be violated. And you have to sever your relation with the group, with Shapoorji.
And your book talks about how Cyrus Mistry says to Ratan Tata's face
that I'm not going to do it.
That I'm not going to disassociate myself from my country.
I have also one more point. Now, let me put it like this to you. The so-called fastidious embracement of normative values is not anything new or only applied with regard to Cyrus Mistry. If you remember, if you read the book carefully, you will find as a part of the restructuring program, in 1998, he introduced what's called the Tata Code of Conduct.
Yeah.
That regulates the behavior of all the Tata employees to ensure that there is, please understand, normative systems in the group. People will adhere to ethical values. And therefore, it is something that he has been pushing right from the time he joined as a chairman of Tata Group. So therefore, when he found
Cyrus Mistry was in violation of the Tata Code of Conduct. Let's put it simply.
I don't want to say that, but yes, in essence. It's true. Yeah, it is. I completely agree. And it hurt him. And it hurt the poor man. Let me tell you something. People, I don't know what all people may talk about, this incident. But if there is anything that hurt R&T Sir more, I don't know of. Let me tell you. The removal of Cyrus Mistry, the replacement of Cyrus Mistry hurt him the most. It agonized him. You know why? He says, Thomas, it was not the Tata way. And is the first chairman to be replaced. He said, and Nitin Noria says, it was the toughest decision R&T Sir took in his life, because he knew that there is going to be a lot of speculation. There's going to be a lot of pushback, and is going to, place the entire group in a kind of a turmoil and a kind of situation where there'll be headwinds, there'll be criticism, washing dirty linen, and people in the press talking about stories, imaginations, everything for that matter. So therefore, that's the toughest decision in his life. And unlike a lot of people say, removing Cyrus hurt him the most. And okay, let me put it like this to you, Barkha, in 2 words. It was a regrettable inevitability. That's it for him.
Got it.